Stinished It is recorded on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to any First Nations people listening.
We acknowledge the long history of storytelling undertaken on this land.
Welcome back to Stinished It, the podcast where we chat about the things we've started, finished, and what we're looking forward to. I'm Reuben, and our podcasting schedule for the next 2 weeks is off the charts.
Off the charts, good. We're doing no podcast none of the time. All podcast all of the time.
All podcasts all of the time.
Some podcasts some of the time.
With me is Jett. That's Jett that you're hearing.
I'm Jett. I think I'm the problem. Am I the problem? Am I the issue here?
Maybe. I mean, well, yes, in the sense that you're leaving the country for multiple weeks.
Yep. Okay.
That makes it difficult.
Next
You're also
week
leaving
we're doing
a
state for a week.
That's true, but mine's within yours and shorter. So,
okay. So like, if I'm going to go on holidays, I'm going to make sure it's within Jett's holidays so that I'm not to blame.
Correct, pretty much.
Great. Well,
I think we're doing 2 podcasts in about 15 hours next week, so that's fine.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We're going to bank some up.
We're going to... Okay.
It's going to be
all
great.
right.
2 podcasts is, I think, 2 podcasts minimum. I think we could go at least up to 5 if we really push
All-nighter,
it.
baby.
All-nighter, all podcast all the time. Our late night podcasts do well, so...
It's true. It's true.
I think we should just keep pushing it. It's what the people want.
Later and later.
Later and later. More and more.
If we ever do like a live show at like 2 a.m, we're like, yeah, we know what you want.
I would love a live show. This would be great.
That would be terrible.
It would be awful. I feel like I would just completely get distracted from whatever topics and just start chatting with people.
So like the podcast?
Just like the podcast, exactly.
I would do the opposite. I would freeze up and not be able to say a single thing. I don't know why. It's not that much different.
Do you get nervous in front of crowds?
Well, like I've done performance and I've done public speaking and I've done a podcast, so I have all the necessary skills, but I feel like if you put them together, I'd be like, A
lot of your performance work is dance, so I guess you don't have to talk then. As long as you don't physically freeze, then you're fine. But I don't know. Do you have a freeze on stage? Just be like, I can't remember what the next move is. Guess I'll just stop.
I did it in class last night. I was
really?
like, what is it? I don't know what it is. It's gone.
And you didn't make it up?
No, I just like waited till I remembered it.
Oh. See, every time...
If I was on stage, I'd be more likely to make it up, I feel.
Yeah.
Because like, you got to keep going. You got to keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Every time I'm in rehearsals, I just keep going. If I fuck something up, I just play it off as if I just
and bear it.
Present it as confidence so that anyone who's looking is like, oh, no, that's definitely what they're meant to do.
Fake it till you make it.
Exactly. Or just fake it and then keep faking it.
Yeah.
Until they finally catch on and fire you.
It's too late for that.
It's too late for that.
Who's going to replace you at this point?
I think Janky, who is our choreographer and stage manager and a bunch of other stuff, and now part of the cast, could probably take on another role.
Just understudy one more. What's the
I
difference?
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. We're only in like 90% of the scenes together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd work out. It'd be good.
And we're only, a week out?
A week.
By that I mean 3 days.
And by that I mean 3 days. Yeah. Yep, we open on Friday for Heather's. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exciting. We had our tech run last night, which was as chaotic as you might think a tech run would be, but we're getting through it, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. Can I tell you about the drink that I brought this week?
Oh boy, here we go.
Every week I bring a drink. Sometimes I don't.
Pretty much every week. Since you started.
I have been trying to make it every week.
Yeah, it's a thing. We get all set up for the podcast, and then Jett has 2 realizations, which are, oh my God, I don't have any topics, and oh my God, I don't have a drink.
It looks so good. It looks so nice and foamy. What it is...
certainly looks.
...is I've made an espresso martini. I love espresso martinis, and I had a very late night last night at the tech run for Heather's, so I really wanted a coffee, and then I realized I have Kahlua in my in my pantry from my birthday, which I've never used. And I also now have a coffee machine. So I was like, with these 2 things and a third thing, which is the vodka, which I didn't have, so I used white rum instead. So we're going to see how that goes. But I've made my first ever espresso martini.
Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, let's find out.
Okay, great.
Jett is drinking. It's in like a tall, like champagne flute. It's very fancy. Probably the most fancy glass they've ever brought. They've taken a small sip.
Yeah, they taste like an espresso martini. Oh, that's really good.
Huh.
That's fucked up, actually. That's
Maybe
an
you're onto
issue.
something.
No, this is an issue.
That it's too good. And you're going to be making them all the time.
Yeah, no, I know how to make espresso martinis
Yeah,
from
that's
home
an
now,
issue.
and I have all the means to do so.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
White rum espresso martinis. Did you put salt in it?
Fuck, I didn't put salt
Oh
in it.
my god, imagine how much better it would have
No,
been
I
with
could run
salt.
downstairs. No, this
Don't
happened
run
last
downstairs.
time.
Don't run downstairs. It's an ongoing bit now. You see? You see?
But I want salt in it now.
I actually yelled out to you, don't forget to put salt in it. And you didn't hear me. And
No.
you said, what? And so I quickly pivoted into like a different joke.
Why would you? You knew this would come up. You're like,
Yeah.
I knew that Jett would forget the salt.
Yeah.
And then oh,
Yeah.
this is so rude.
Yeah. No ice this week also, which like
You
makes
don't
sense.
in an
Yeah,
espresso
yeah.
martini. No, this is delicious. I think that this is an elevation of last week, which was Red Bull and what else was in it?
I just listened to the episode and should know, but I don't remember.
It was Red Bull and maybe I don't think it wasn't vodka because we don't have that. Was it tequila?
No. I don't
Was it
think
white
so.
rum?
No, I don't
Was
think
it
so.
Wasn't Chambord because I haven't opened that. Was it vermouth?
Yes.
No, because
No, that was the week before with the orange juice.
It was Red Bull and something. But I think this is an elevation of that. I think this is a good improvement. I think Oliver Anderson, friend of the show, would be proud. I thought, he's just left for America yesterday. So I'm really
He would
glad.
say, why'd you forget the salt?
Look, I'll do salt next time. I'll remember. I won't remember.
You won't
I will not
remember.
remember. Would you like some, Reuben?
No, thank you.
Okay. Would you like any coffee? Because I
thank
made
you.
2 shots of coffee because my coffee machine, I don't have a 1-shot thing.
The first thing you said after you made this was, I should have doubled the recipe before you tried it.
Because
I
like
also know.
halfway,
It would have been a very full glass with double that. It would have been
but
like,
it's real tasty.
yeah.
It's real tasty. And double the shots means double the fun.
I hope so.
And also double the, I don't know if more caffeine and more alcohol like does more of its weird stuff.
Yeah.
Or if it
Just cancels itself out to the
Yeah.
same amount.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
We have 2 cocktail books from friend of the show, Oliver Anderson now, so we could probably find out.
We could.
It's probably in that one that's Mixology, the one for mixers. What's it called? Drinks for clinks.
I don't know what the other one's called. I only know Liquid Intelligence.
Yeah, that one.
oh,
That's the
that one.
Smarty Pants Fluids.
It's crazy. We flicked through a few pages. It's like a science textbook.
Yeah.
I was, even after Ollie described it in detail, I was still like, oh no, this is...
I mean,
This
what
is
would you
what this
expect
is.
from Smarty Pants Fluids?
You're right. I should have read the subtitle Smarty Pants Fluids.
Fluids
and
in
known
your
everything.
Smarty Pants.
Oh no.
Trickling down your Smarty Pants.
Trickle down fluids in your Smarty Pants. Economics. I don't know.
I don't know. Reuben, do you want to
Jett.
explain to the listeners
Sure,
what we do on this podcast?
You have another drink.
I
While
am-
I
I'll
I
have
know.
another-
I can see
I'll
you
make
waiting.
another
Every
one.
time you finish a
You want-
sentence, you like half tip it towards your face, but then you think of something else to say. So you just have a couple of sips. I'll tell all the listeners how the
Okay.
show works. All right. Oh, that's a big sip. All right. So what we do on this show is each of us brings something that we have started, something that we have finished, and then there's a section called Up and Up, which is something that's coming up, or anything that we're following up on from previous episodes, and sometimes one of us brings another thing on the other one also. And that's how the show works.
That's how the show works. Did you want to start us off with the started it?
I can start us off with a start of it.
Excellent. What have you started?
Now, I know what I've started, but I'm going to check my notes because I phrased it in an interesting way.
Have you started
in my
knocking the
notes.
table again?
I started knocking the table.
Every
I
week.
never stopped. That's my secret. I'm always angry or whatever.
You're never going to finish either.
I have started Netflix's Wes Anderson's Roald Dahl's short stories.
What?
Okay, let's break it down. Netflix's?
Okay,
Yeah.
so Netflix. Netflix games?
No.
Not Netflix
no,
games.
not Netflix games.
Netflix free Netflix with ads?
They would be there, but I'm not there because that's insane.
Okay, so you're paying for Netflix.
No.
Okay.
Netflix free Netflix, but no ads.
Okay, how
I
you-
actually have a special deal.
How do you get Netflix with
I
no
start
ads?
with the executive producers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Netflix's,
Yeah.
Wes Anderson's,
How do you instigate that interaction? Then
Snapchat DMs.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Do you have the usernames of... Is it just at Netflix on Snapchat?
Yeah, it's just
go there.
just all of them walk in sometimes.
Do you have to ease into it, or is it just like nudes immediately?
I just jumped straight in. I was like, ain't nobody got time for this. Honestly,
Yeah,
they flew
Netflix
me
is-
over to like LA. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
For an in-person thing, or are you still Snapchatting, but just now you're in LA?
Well, now we're chatting, but it's like I've got all the value I need out of this relationship. So I'm like, when do I sever it? But like, it's kind of cute thing on the side. So
Okay, could you, I don't know, is there anything else you could eke out? Could you eke out some free stuff for
you
everyone
want
else?
free Netflix, is what you're saying?
I would like free
You can
Netflix
use our free
games,
Netflix.
ideally.
Oh, well, that's free.
But I don't...
You forget that's completely free.
But, okay, so even if I don't pay for Netflix, though.
Okay.
So then it's not free.
Well, no, then it's not free.
I'm going to have to sleep with some executives, aren't I?
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. Well, that is actually... Look, I am going to the US at the start of November, so maybe I'll utilize
You're doing
that
East Coast,
trip.
West Coast.
East
You
Coast,
can
West
come to them.
Coast. I could hit both sides, you know. I'm sure there's a Netflix office. I'm sure there's a Netflix office on either coast.
I'm feeling a strong desire to move on.
Yeah, I'm feeling a strong desire to stick with this.
Oh,
What do you think
boy.
the Netflix executives are into?
Well, I could say, but that's kind of like trade secrets.
I feel
But I
like
guess-
I feel like it's about 56 minutes, 12 days in a row, and then no, actually, sorry,
Yeah.
all at once.
Yeah.
Just like 56 minutes, little
Yeah.
breaks between it.
Yeah.
And you do that 3 years in a row, and then they immediately sever it off. Like
Yeah.
after that, they're like,
Honestly, that's
they
pretty accurate.
They never have a relationship
Yeah.
over 3
Yeah.
years, so you better take advantage of this.
Yeah,
How
I
long have you
gotta-
been doing this
yeah.
for?
About 2 years, 8 months.
Okay, so yeah, you've got to you're gone.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
done
they're about
for.
to cancel me.
Yeah.
I should have really enjoyed our last trip like it was the last one. I should have known that it's only 3 years because it's always only 3.
It probably will be. But I did hear that you're the best person to sleep with in all of the world. You're the number one.
Oh, I'm the most slept with and most watched person.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I would.
They didn't provide any evidence to back that up,
No.
but I take them on faith.
I saw a post on Instagram saying Reuben's the best,
Yeah.
number one
Yeah.
in the world
Yeah.
to sleep with executives.
And there's a bunch of messages below it from writers being like, man, maybe you should pay Reuben more or something. And I was like, that's an interesting idea. But like, don't worry about that. I imagine that's nothing.
Well, are you getting paid to sleep with them? No.
Oh, well, I'm getting free Netflix.
Yeah, so you're getting
yes.
paid in like exposure to Netflix.
Yeah, exposure to many things.
Oh.
Anyway, so we've got Netflix's, Wes Anderson's. So you're familiar with Wes Anderson?
I have seen Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Great.
but only I was not paying attention really, and
we
I
watch that
didn't
in
enjoy
lockdown?
it very much.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
but
Netflix
it seems
is-
really good. But I just
Yeah.
it's like tick tick. No, that's it. Tick tick tick.
It's like Tick, Tick,
It's
Tick.
like Tick Tick Tick. That
Yeah.
movie with Andrew Garfield's, where
You're gonna make me angry.
I watched it and I'm like, oh, it seems pretty good, but I'm not enjoying it right now. I'll have to watch it again.
And have you?
No,
No, I don't think so.
because the first time watching it was more like tick 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 and tick tick boom. We got Netflix.
Netflix's, Wes Anderson's, Roald Dahl's.
So horny Netflix.
Yeah. Wes Anderson
Boring
that you haven't watched.
Boring Wes
Yep,
Anderson.
Yep. Your opinions on Roald Dahl?
Okay. Haven't read any Roald Dahl.
What?
Yeah.
Any?
I don't know. Name a Roald Dahl.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
No.
The
Seen the movie?
BFG.
No.
Danny the Champion of the World.
No.
James and the Giant Peach.
No.
The Witches.
No.
Nothing. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator.
Is that the same Charlie that's in the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, it's the sequel.
Oh.
Oh my god, you should read that book.
What?
It's wild.
Why is he?
They go to space.
Wait. So they go from Chocolate
There are
Factory.
things called vermicious canids that are like aliens.
Okay.
It's so funny. It's so good. They make spooky words on abandoned space elevators with their bodies.
Is
They're
there
like
any-
giant space worms?
What the fuck?
It's so good.
Did Roald Dahl like
I
have a
don't
mental
know.
breakdown
I
after
don't
Chocolate
know.
Factory?
He was a how I follow up my greatest masterwork.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we just put Charlie and the grandparents and Willy Wonka in space.
Oh, Willy Wonka's there too.
Yeah.
Oh my
It follows
God.
on pretty much directly from the first one. Like at the end of the first book, or maybe the very start of the second, they like take a great glass elevator to like hop over the city to see Charlie's family and pick him up and take him back to the chocolate factory.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think one of the grandmas like presses the wrong button. And the woman's
Elevators
like,
can't
"Don't press
go that way. Like they can't go.
Jet, the name of the
horizontally.
book is Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator.
Yeah, but
Okay, I feel like
elevators can't
It's
go
it's Willy Wonka.
landscape-wise. Unless you arrive, unless it's like a big tube.
It's Willy Wonka. It
I
can
know
do
it's
anything.
Willy Wonka. That doesn't explain anything.
He's a
It's
slave
Willy
driving magician inventor guy.
Exactly. We understand the rules of Willy Wonka. He utilizes slaves that he found in Africa to make chocolate.
Correct.
And he kills kids.
Correct. I can't wait for Wonka to, like, their marketing is like, look at all these big chocolate magnates
the
who are, like,
Willy
holding a
before
monopoly.
Wonka. Yeah.
And then it's like, I can't wait for our charismatic young hero to grow up and then be that guy.
Be the only one as well.
Just make us
We don't
like
hear
a
of the rest
bigger,
of them.
more concentrated monopoly. You hear about Slughorn, the only competition, but he's a villain.
Slughorn.
Well, he's also not like real Slughorn.
Slughorn, as in not Harry Potter Slughorn.
No.
Okay.
No, Slug. Have I got the right name?
Slugworth.
Slugworth.
Slughorn Leghorn from Looney Tunes.
With your Kentucky Foghorn Leghorn roll. That's
it's just a big slug who likes baseball.
That's the Vermicious Knids, big slugs. They don't like baseball though.
Okay. That's
So
why
we
I don't
got-
call him Slughorn Leghorn.
We got Netflix.
No, I think
You need more. Okay, you need
just
more
wanna-
time on Roald Dahl.
Do you think that they're gonna do Tilly Tonka? That's
Yeah.
the
You're
Timothy.
doing a gender bending Willy Wonka.
No, that's the Timothy Chalamet one.
Oh,
Tilly
that's
Tonka.
great. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the Tilly Tonka sequel where he's in a big glass elevator.
No, I don't think they're ever going to adapt this, which is a pity because they're getting our third, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. It's like, make the weird one. I want to see the
They
weird
are. It's called
one.
Tilly Tonka.
Well, yeah, but, like, make the weird one that
he
won't be boring,
quits
I guess.
chocolate
I
and
don't
starts just making Tonka trucks.
Tilly Tonka.
He's like, I've actually had chocolate
Yeah.
for every day in my life for the
I
past
actually
4
never
years.
want another piece of chocolate again.
I'd rather just play in a sandpit with a big old yellow truck.
Also, yes, it will kill you.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a remote control here, and the max speed is 300 k's an hour. So if I drive it at your foot, you're gone.
You're dead. You're gone. As long as you don't get in the way of my
yeah,
Tonka truck.
yeah. Don't do anything silly.
If you have, then that's your fault for being too greedy.
Remember the thing you signed?
Saying, I'm good to die.
I'm so good to
I am
die. I'm a
100%
literal child who doesn't understand contract law, and I am good to die.
I am absolutely fine. I have all my affairs in order. Kill me now, ideally.
I'm just imagining Willy Wonka singing like a cappella Pure Imagination as a Tonka truck like takes out someone's ankles.
Pure imagination. My
oh
Tonka truck
my God,
of pure
I'm gonna
imagination.
Oh, my fever is shut it. Oh my God. Okay, so we got Netflix's.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson's, Roald Dahl's,
Okay.
short stories.
Okay.
There's 4 of them.
I understand short stories. So
Yeah,
it's just
good,
short,
thank God we don't have to spend 5 minutes on short stories. Like that time that you suggested an 800-page poetry book or whatever. So,
Yeah.
what we got is 4 of them.
Okay.
I've watched 1 of them,
Okay.
so this counts as a start of
Wait,
it.
is one of them
I wish it was Great Glass Elevator,
it's not
but
Great
it's
Glass.
not. So we've got The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar,
Yep.
which was I watched.
And that's not related to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Unrelated.
Is it another candy like
Oh, Henry Sugar, no. Sorry, I forget that you haven't read any Roald Dahl
I don't
books.
know what Roald Dahl
Henry
is.
Sugar is a man learns to meditate really well so that he can see what's on the other side of a card. I mean, he can do all sorts of things, but that he uses that one for gambling to make money.
And these are kids' books?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know a single kid who knows how to play cards. I know kids who know how to
Do
play
you know
Uno.
a single kid
This would
who's
be
been in a
helpful.
Great Glass Elevator and met Vermicious Knids? No, you don't.
That's a good point.
It's pure imagination, isn't it? Yeah, that's the point. Oh my God! Oh! Then The Swan, The Ratcatcher, and Poison, which I haven't watched yet.
Okay.
Wes Anderson's interesting, right? Because you're like, what are you doing with you? Why are you telling a story like this? Like, it's pretty images, but I don't know if I connect with this or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the best version of Wes Anderson to consume.
Wow.
Because it's short, so you don't have the same expectations about like, I'm going to watch a 1.5 hour movie. I'm going to get really invested in these characters. You're like, I'm just engaging in a little vignette. It's, like the whimsy of Roald Dahl, like really makes sense in that world. So that's fun. And like the way, I mean, it's Wes Anderson and he's doing all of his Wes Anderson tropes and things, but it's also like, it's staged a bit more like a play. Like you see actors bringing in like sets and switching them around and people come in and out of like roles and they're back into a kind of like ensemble mode, and there's a lot of speaking directly to camera.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
I think that's what musical movies should be. I have an image in my brain of Hamilton. If that was made into a movie, I would probably fucking hate it. But
it would probably be bad. Just not at
But I think
Lost
that
in
if
translation.
it was, let's take, what's the song just after Act 2 starts where...
The Jefferson song, what did I miss?
No, the other one.
No,
one
that's
where
the one that starts
when
the
he's
second act.
doing the Constitutional Convention and he's doing a bunch of writing.
Non-stop.
Yeah,
that's the end
Non-Stop.
of the first.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the end of
true.
Act 1.
Well, when they're all like switching, and it's switching scenes between the Constitutional Convention and Hamilton writing at home and then talking to Eliza, blah, blah, blah. I think it would be really cool if you had like the camera at Hamilton at his desk writing, and then the camera like rotates around him and the scene changes and more like setbacks are brought in. So it becomes still like how it would look if they made a film set, not like it would be a stage exactly, but to use that sort of stage transition of things moving in so that you don't have cuts between. I think that's one of the big issues of musicals turning into movies often, unless it's a blackout, you don't really have cuts between things. Things just naturally transition. Sometimes you have songs transitioning between locations in the middle of it. So if you just cut, it feels really weird and jarring. Yeah. Like you'll have someone singing one line while they're walking down a hallway and then singing another line while they're talking to someone.
Which makes
in the
total
living room.
sense on stage. But in a movie, like, have they been singing for 6 months? Like, did they walk all the way? Like, but there's no gap in the song. The song keeps playing. It's kind of
so
weird.
if you have the camera move, but it still be like one shot and the scene change around them and like people moving, I think that would be really cool.
They'd probably just do it like in the Heights, though, wouldn't they? Like, just make a movie.
Just make it worse.
Yeah.
Set it in the modern day. It's
just two guys with guns.
the
in the middle of
revolution
New York
of
City.
2023.
Oh, it would be terrible.
It'd be really bad.
Terrible.
Okay, continue about your scene changes are cool.
Oh yeah, well it's pretty much that, and also like I was reading a little bit about how Wes Anderson was like, I don't know how to adapt these stories, and I don't know how to do it without like Roald Dahl's like actual words, and so he just has the characters say the words to camera, and so they're like. Sorry, I just turned completely away from the mic to show you. Doesn't work. If I talk over here, no one can hear me. I'll do it with my hands because this is an audio medium and that's great for listeners. They'll be talking to the audience and then they'll jump back into the scene. And sometimes it's really rapid fire. Like they'll be like, and how do you do? I said, and he said to me, I'm good. And I mucked it up. But like it's really rapid fire.
So like a Fleabag sort of talking.
Yeah.
Like fourth wall breaking. Yes. But instead of it being the character saying their thoughts to camera, it's the character saying the little bits in between the dialogue.
Sometimes both. And also Roald Dahl is in them sometimes.
Roald Dahl.
And he's, well, no, like it's Ralph Fiennes playing Roald Dahl.
That's a different person. That's Voldemort. That's... Charlie, I've come to take you into the glass elevator. I killed your parents.
Look, if the finale of Harry Potter took place...
Tonga truck.
I
am Tilly Tonga. Avada Kedavra. I was trying to think of a funny chocolate word.
Think of a funny pun.
But
I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, come on, you got this. And you had nothing. There it is. Well done, everybody. I will say this.
Everybody, I did that all by
myself. If the
myself.
finale of Harry Potter took place in the Great Glass Elevator, at least it would be fucking inside!
Oh my god, this again.
Yes, this again.
God.
So they're great, and you should start them. Who are they for? If you like Wes Anderson, this is more Wes Anderson. If you don't like Wes Anderson, these are like shorter and a little bit of a different emphasis. Try these. They're
I'm
really
interested
good.
because I like...
I've only watched one, but I presume the others are similar.
The others are probably good.
It's Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson has a really cool, like, visual style. Again, haven't really watched any of his stuff, but has always interested me to some degree.
I want to like his films so badly, but they're just good.
Right. Yeah, I think...
I want to love them.
This feels like an anthology kind of thing, like if Wes Anderson...
Oh, there's a bunch of the same actors, like they film... I don't think they filmed it in COVID, but real small, so they'll have this sense of, related... anthology, yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a cool thing, and they did a classic, no one knew this was happening, then they dropped a trailer, and 3 days later they were there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Too bad you have to suck off Aiden because I
Yeah, I
can
know.
be able to watch it.
I know.
I'm sorry, that was pretty graphic.
that was a lot. Yeah.
I know. Oh,
But
God.
espresso martini is really getting to you.
Yeah.
What have you started?
I'll tell you what I've started. I've started the Australian TV show Fisk.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Ollie and I talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
On that episode.
On the episode where we
11.
talked about Fleabag and
Liquid Intelligence.
Oh yeah, Liquid
We're
Intelligence.
following up that episode a lot.
Yeah, we are.
That's like 3 things.
It was a good episode.
It was.
Yeah. I started watching it the other day in the morning while I was eating breakfast, and I was like, this is pretty good. I was a bit confused when Spider-Man came in and just kicked the main character in the face. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot. And then Daredevil came in and
I
was
was
like,
thinking about actors, and I was like,
your
who was
mob
in
boss has been
Aaron
killing
Chan wasn't in
people.
Spider-Man.
And he's like, you're a blind man. You can't be a superhero. And then they have a big fight, and it's really good. And Daredevil's wearing his black suit again, and he's got like boxing gloves, so like wraps around his hands. It gets all bloody. And then Fisk's wife, she's gay in this, is behind me like, oh no, my wife Fisk, who's being beat up by this blind man. Is this anything?
Thanks for your recap of of Daredevil Born Again.
No
but
problem.
there's actually some news the other week that they're going to reshoot the whole thing.
They are reshooting
So,
Born Again.
unfortunately, that fantastic scene that you described with Kitty Flanagan thrown into Daredevil Season 3 is not going to happen.
Yeah, they're restarting it because, yeah, we're just going to go on this tangent.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Because honestly, I don't have a lot to say about Fisk.
Oh, cool, let's talk about an unrelated thing then, I guess. For those not in... Should I explain... Fisk is a character in Spider-Man and Daredevil, that's all.
Yeah, Wilson Fisk. He's a big mob boss. He's known as the Kingpin. And he's played by Vincent D'Onofrio in the Daredevil show.
Whose great nephew we knew in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shield.
Good on you.
Love it. Yeah, so Daredevil was recently... Daredevil Born Again, the TV show, Disney Plus Marvel show.
You actually have me to thank. Because Netflix had the rights and they wouldn't give them up. So,
so you have been using your power a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
my pillow talk gets me 2 things, all right? It gets me free Netflix with no ads.
Free Netflix
and
and
Daredevil
worst Marvel
reboot.
shows.
No.
Worst Marvel shows. Oh, do you think all the Marvel shows at Disney are better than the Netflix ones?
Oh, no chance, no.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The peaks and troughs of the Netflix ones were higher and lower, although Secret Invasion was pretty atrocious.
I actually think that they're probably kind of on par with like Iron Fist. That was
I didn't hate Iron Fist as much as everyone else did. Like, it was bad, obviously.
The fight scenes weren't good, especially for the martial arts person who's supposed to be the best at martial arts.
But then again, Secret Invasion wasn't very good for the show about a secret invasion.
Yeah.
So,
so Daredevil Born Again, my God, let me finish my goddamn sentence, was being...
I'm sorry, you want me to let you finish your sentence on this tangent to your topic that you said we can go on? I will not.
They filmed it. They filmed a new Daredevil
They
with
were
Charlie
like half
Cox.
filmed.
Okay, it was mostly filmed.
But also like 18 episodes, so
Charlie
half of that
Cox,
is a lot.
the same person who played Daredevil in the Netflix Daredevil show, who everyone loves, is back as Daredevil, was in the She-Hulk show.
So is it
Very
a
good at that.
continuation or a reboot? Yes.
Yes. So he's back in Daredevil Born Again. They filmed it, and then because all this writer strike stuff, Marvel's come out.
No, Jett. It wasn't because of the writer's
I'm
strike.
sorry, it's because you gave a couple of
didn't know.
handies.
No, I was trying to... No. Oh my God. I wasn't even going there. I was like, Marvel haven't acknowledged the writer's strike at all. They're like, no, we just had a look at it in the same week that the writer's strike was resolved with a new deal. And that's the reason that we're suddenly going to do showrunners and show Bibles and pilot episodes and significantly staffed writers' rooms. That's the reason. No other reason.
What that means is so far for all of the Marvel shows, they have not had showrunners, people on the set who are basically running the show, a showrunner.
Which makes so much sense when you think about it.
They also haven't had show Bibles, which is what all TV has been doing for decades and decades, where basically it's what it sounds like. It's where you write all the rules of your universe in so that everyone has that to refer to. They haven't been doing that. They also haven't been doing pilot episodes. They've been filming $200 million shows all together and not testing if it works well with the pilot episode. They film it all and then they figure out what works in the editing room, which is bad.
Nothing. Not much of your show works.
They also don't have a whole lot of time in the editing room. WandaVision was being edited as it was released.
Coming out.
It's messed up. So now they're like, oh yeah, we're going to do pilots. We're going to have Bibles. We're going to have, it's going to be really good having Bibles for Daredevil. That'll be really helpful. They were going to do it completely agnostically. And it was going to be very strange. Yeah. Very strange for the character.
Daredevil is a Catholic, everyone.
Daredevil, born only once. I was born once and that's how
I'll die and there'll be nothing afterwards.
Look, I could be convinced that maybe I'll get born again.
Yeah.
But currently, I have just been born once.
Yeah.
They're doing all the proper stuff.
Marvel were like, we broke movies. So what, like, and profited hugely from the reshuffle that happened. Yeah. What if we just break TV? And then they were like, oh no, we broke TV.
They broke, yeah. This is the same thing. Like, it's all these streaming services where they're like, we've got a new, like, it's a Silicon Valley approach of, like, breaking the industry, being new with stuff. We're going to do things differently. It's like, by differently, you mean cheaply and badly.
Yes, and not paying anyone and making worse stuff.
Exactly. So they're not doing that anymore. So that's good. Oh, yeah. So Daredevil Born Again is complete. Hey, it's a funny thing. It's being born again. They've scrapped everything that they've done and they're restarting completely.
Good.
Thank goodness.
But also the one that was being made, which was like a legal procedural from the sounds of it. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Actually.
They'll still probably do that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
They dumped the writers.
They dumped all the
writers? Yeah. They were like, start again.
God.
Yeah.
That must be really hard for that one person. They're probably going through a lot.
Yeah, I reckon.
No, they'll get jumped on another thing because everyone has to have fully stocked writers' rooms now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Fully stocked.
Tear
through those cans of writers.
Anyways, Fisk was pretty good.
Where are you?
Like 2 episodes in, I think. I didn't realize how recent the show was. Has a lot of actors, Australian comedians that I really like. Some old favorites, like there's the guy from Kath and Kim. He's in it. I don't know which guy, don't ask me. I haven't really seen Kath and Kim. It has, I think Aaron Chen is the person. Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. I love him. I think I saw him live once at one of the Melbourne Comedy Festival big intro gala things. Very, very good. Kitty Flanagan, obviously fantastic. It's a really fun show. Speaking of law procedurals, she's working in a. Do you want to explain what the show's about?
No.
Oh, fuck.
You're not going to get me twice in a row. That's what you made me do last week. You're halfway through.
Okay. I'll tell you what the show's about. I'll convince people to watch the show. It's a funny Australian comedy. Kitty Flanagan plays a person who was fired from her old job because she got upset at her boss or something because her boss had an affair with her wife. So she got fired because of that. She applied to be for a job at like this small law firm. They hired her because her dad is a famous law person. I don't know, judge person. Barrister. And she's not.
All those words are interchangeable, by the way. I don't know if you knew this, but barrister, solicitor, attorney, judge they person? Don't actually mean anything. They're just all interchangeable.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. That's what I thought. And she's not great at the job. One of her first things is like explaining how the money from a will is getting divided between 2 of the person who died's children, I think. And she uses a gas station hot like sausage roll to use it as a pie chart and just like cuts it in half and explains it like that way. It's weird.
She gets kicked out of the trendy coffee shop almost immediately.
Yeah, because she was getting upset at a person for talking on the phone too loud and that person happened to be the owner. It's really great fun. Yeah, so now she goes to like 7-Eleven for a coffee, for a $1 coffee. And that's a whole like little, I don't know, theme that goes through it where...
There's lots of trams in it.
There's lots of trams.
A lot of the establishing shots are just like trams.
I don't know what street it's on. It looks familiar, but I don't know what
I'm sure we could figure it out, but I'm not sure.
It feels like it's in the south, like south of the Yarra River.
She's got a big long coat. Variety of them that she wears. Classic Melbourne. But also always brown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very
funny character.
Except when she wears yellow for a job interview because she's told that she should spice it up a bit. So she wears bright yellow.
I forgot about that.
It's a really good, funny show. I recommend it to people who like Australian comedy shows, and it's on ABC iView. So
I should finish it.
You haven't finished it?
I think I finished first season. I think I got partway through the second.
I don't know how many seasons there are. I
haven't finished Coffee Cafe either.
Oh, you haven't finished Auntie Donna's Coffee Cafe?
No, I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes
Oh,
and then
it's
just
great.
forgot that it existed. We talked about it.
We did. We talked about it on this podcast. Like episode 2 or 3 or something.
So long ago.
Yeah. Watch Fisk if you like Australian comedy shows. Watch Fisk if you like Kitty Flanagan. Watch Fisk if you live in Melbourne and want to see relatable things. That's honestly most of it. I love that in
pretty much it.
Watching something and I'm like, I've been there.
I recognize
I
that
know
place.
this thing. Yeah. Classic relatable comedy.
The printer doesn't work. It's classic.
I've had a printer that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it frustrates the hell out of me.
It's
Let
so
me tell
annoying.
you. Let me tell you. It's almost worse than being rammed in the ankle by a Tonka truck.
Almost.
Almost.
Can feel fatal at times when a new printer doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
I didn't have, oh my God. I had a sign that needed to be printed for PAX, which was the sign to say, hey, we're giving away games if you spot as many wrong things as you can around the booth. I designed it the morning of Bump In, so the Thursday before the Friday.
So the day you picked up the games at 4:30, the businessman's witching hour.
The same day that I was, setting up all the stuff in the booth. So I had my dad helping me set stuff up in the booth. I had finished, the design for the A4 printed sheet that morning, and I ran to the front desk of PAX saying, hey, is there any chance that you guys have a printer that I could use? And they said, no, but the people at the Melbourne Convention Centre, like the official main desk. Oh, ow.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
We've hit everything, but never that wall.
No, that hurt. Anyways, the Melbourne Convention Centre desk, go there and ask them. I ran there. It was so hard to find. You had to go all the way around the exhibition centre, all the way to... It took me like 25 minutes to find it. And when I was there, I had to email them 4 separate times from 3 different email accounts to finally get it to go through.
Weird.
Yeah. And then I got it, so that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, great fun.
That was an important sign.
It was a very important sign. So actually, no, it wasn't even for that sign. Scratch all of that. I printed out the sign the Friday morning of PAX. Reuben was taking me to PAX. We were both going together, and you stopped off at office work so I could run in at like, I don't know, 8:30.
8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. No, what the thing I needed to get printed was the invoice for my game so that I could go out to Derrimut and pick up the games.
Oh,
I had to have a printed version of the invoice. So that was
what
fucked.
a nightmare.
Yeah. So relatable comedy, everyone.
Yeah.
Just the bane of my existence. Okay. That's it. Watch the show. It's good.
Great.
That's what
Fantastic.
I've got. Now we're on to Finished It. This is the Finished It section.
I'm so tired. I would tell you why, but it's part of my following up.
Do you want to have some espresso martini?
Why not?
Okay. Enjoy it. Glug, 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 glug. How's that?
Oh, tastes like, something really specific I've had before that's not this drink.
It'll be coffee.
Well,
and
yeah,
Kahlua
no, it's coffee, but no, it's
and
like
white rum because I didn't have vodka.
Oh, it's iced coffee is what it is.
Yeah, it tastes like iced coffee.
Yeah, because it's a cool drink with coffee in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you finished. Tell me why you're so tired.
No.
What?
No, they're unrelated. Which one do you want me to tell you?
What do you mean? You just told me that they're
related.
related.
No, it's part of follow-up.
Tell me, well, this isn't the following up section.
No, exactly. That's why you confused me. My hands were mid-air. I was in the middle of like a celebration of what I'd finished, and you were like, tell me why you're so tired. And I went, what? And I just froze. Okay, I'm still frozen. My hands are still in the air.
Tell me what you finished.
Okay, can I move my hands now?
Yeah.
Thank God. I thought you were going to say no, make me leave them there. I have finished Zmen First Class. The listeners have just heard a better version of that. We have music cue. You don't have to. You don't have to do
Okay, I'm done. I was just quickly also taking an Instagram video because Goose looks very cute right now. So,
oh my god! Oh, that's so cute.
Check the Instagram for that.
Oh.
So I was actually using the
So you were stalling for time?
80s theme to stall for time.
Is that because this movie is set in the 60s?
No, it's because the Men
12.
TV show is like.
Is it being born again?
Fucking hell. No, it was from the 80s, and that's what the theme is from. There's a Men animated TV show. Oh, no, sorry, it was 96. It was 96. Came out in 96 because the new one's 97.
That's right.
I'm just saying bullshit right now, please. I've had a whole one shot of everything. Yeah. I've had a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio.
Always.
Tell me about the Men First Class. Now, hold on.
Okay.
Don't tell me about the Men First Class,
Okay.
actually.
That's fine. Guess I'll just sit back.
I'll tell you why. Because so far on this show, we've talked about the Men First the Men. We've talked about the 2.
That's right.
We haven't talked about the 3.
Yep.
Or the Men Origins Wolverine.
Wolverine. I am the Wolverine.
I am the Wolverine.
He's actually a vampire.
Makes sense, because he lives forever.
Lives forever.
Yeah.
Other things. Hangs upside down like a bat sometimes.
He does. Why does...
Only does it when you're not looking, though. You can't prove that I can't fly. I just don't do it when you're around. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
I am the Wolverine.
He's so...
I want to stab your guts.
Once they put the adamantium in his skeleton, though, he got way heavier, so now he can only fly like a chicken, like a couple of meters off the ground. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
His claws didn't used to be claws, our feathers.
Yeah.
And now they're covered in adamantium.
Adamantium now.
So he just like slices the air as he tries to flap. It's really embarrassing. He can jump real high. That's basically it.
It's like an emu. A big metal emu.
Hello, Bob.
It's just enough to jump like a Tonka truck that's coming at 300 k's an hour, but nothing else. Nothing else, that's it.
Tell me. So have you seen the other 2?
Oh yeah, I've seen the other 2, but we're only covering good ones.
I know you have because I watched.
We watched them together.
Yeah. Oh, we're only covering good ones on this show.
That's the rule that I've just made up.
Okay.
We're only covering goods men movies.
Okay. So you didn't like the other 2?
I didn't think The Last Stand was nearly as bad as you made it out to be. Actually, that's something I want to talk about. The way that you introduced these films to me has a massive effect. Like, if you'd been like, oh, Origins Wolverine? Yeah, like, it's goofy, but it's, like, really fun. Hugh Jackman's great in it. It's, like, got some, like, cool kinetic action. Mm-hmm. I would be like, great, 4-star movie. But you were like, this is the worst thing ever made. And I was like, you're right, 1.5 stars.
I'm so glad I have such a big influence on you. Also,
I suspect
it isn't really based on my opinion. It's sort of based on general
like
consensus.
Cultural consensus. Yeah, I'm aware. So that's an interesting and fun dynamic. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is, why didn't you tell me they were all good?
Oh,
because now I have to sit through like the ones that I know are bad.
You thought The Men 3 was The Men 3: The Last Stand?
If you told me it was good, I would have been like, yeah, it's pretty good. Look, it wasn't as good as the previous 2, obviously.
Magneto brought the Golden Gate Bridge from one side of the harbor.
Yeah, that's goofy as fun.
Yeah,
that's goofy as fun. That's goofy as fun, my guy.
Who says,
I'm the Juggernaut.
I'm the Juggernaut.
How good is that? And The Origins Wolverine has the Blob. 2 fantastic characters. So what are we complaining about?
Yeah, when
really?
the Blob came up in The Origins Wolverine, sorry, the Wolverine,
The Wolverine.
You said, oh, it's the Blob. How the fuck do you know about the Blob? You didn't know about Toad? You didn't know about Nightcrawler? Maybe you did. But you're like, oh, it's the Blob.
It's the Blob. The Blob is iconic.
No, he isn't.
Is the Blob not? Oh, no, that's Juggernaut that's in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe someone's like talked about it on like it would come from YouTube.
The
like
character who's a fat joke.
Yeah, I mean, that bit's not great.
He's just a big guy.
Just a big guy.
Blob.
Yeah.
Great. And you're like, oh, this is my favorite character.
No, I don't.
Were you about to say representation?
Yeah, but, well,
I love
I don't know.
Plus-size representation when the whole thing is just being like,
wow,
look at this
look at how overweight this person is. Yeah. Also, is it a...
What?
So...
Tell me.
So mutants, right? They've all got mutations in their genes that give them their powers. That's the deal. Yes. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Do you want me to tell you what the Blob's power is? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, but in the Wolverine, I'm not sure if it's directly addressed, because teleporting guy who's a Wolverine goes to see, it's just like, yeah, like he really like fell off the wagon and ate a lot. But like,
I can't
is it
remember
something
what his
about the
powers are.
metabolism? I don't
know.
I think that in that movie, is he a mutant?
No, he is a mutant.
Because he's there in the earlier scenes when they're being like a hit squad in Africa or whatever.
I was going to, when they're doing a Suicide Squad.
Movie. Yeah.
I was going to say that his power is once he like starts moving, you can't stop his momentum.
That's the Juggernaut.
But that's the Juggernaut.
That's
bitch.
the Juggernaut, bitch.
So I don't know what the Blob. You talk about what you want to talk about. Well, I'm going to do some research.
The Last Stand was great. Get that Kitty Pryde Juggernaut chase fight.
Yeah.
They went through the floor and through the walls, and then they got like next to the person who cancelled out their powers, and it was so good.
Yeah, that was good. But all of the Dark Phoenix stuff, like Jean Grey died in the last one, is just immediately back.
There's a classic case of this is two movies. I think one of them's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the Dark Phoenix one.
No. Can't wait for them to try that again.
They're not going to try it again.
I meant like Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're not going to try it again. They're going to call it Dark Phoenix, and it's not going to be Dark Phoenix.
Right.
Did you know that Dark Phoenix has Skrulls in it originally?
True.
And then they changed it so it's not Skrulls?
It's okay, because all the X-Men films are Secret Invasion movies.
Yeah, well, no. That was what that was. Jessica Chastain was a Skrull, and it was like a Secret Invasion kind of thing.
That makes a lot of sense.
That came out at the same time Captain Marvel came out. So they thought,
we're doing Skrulls.
We can't do Skrulls. Even though it's covered in...
I was going to say, do they have the rights to Skrulls?
Skrulls are a Fox thing.
Yeah, right.
Because they're mainly a Fantastic Four villain, which is why the Super Skrull has all of the Fantastic Four's abilities. But you wouldn't know this from the show Secret Invasion, because the Super Skrull just has anyone's abilities from anything.
Yeah. It's...
Okay, tell me, we've gone on about the bad men films too much. Tell me about the one that we watched that was good.
It's so good. It's, where do you start? It's fun, it's thematic, it feels like it has the energy of the first one and like the expanded scope of Z2 and Z3, and the casting is so good and everyone is so good and there are so many iconic scenes, and Magneto is great and you can see how he ends up where he ends up, but he's not there yet. Ditto for everyone actually, and like Mystique has something to do.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Mm-hmm. And have a bit of a twist. And Xavier and Mystique were friends.
Yeah.
Originally, childhood friends.
Yeah. But there was fractures in that relationship that were evident then that led to like where they are now. And also there's this thing of like, so we know mutants are an allegory for whatever you want, I guess. But like
mainly race.
Yeah.
Mainly,
originally, when they came out, when the comics were coming out. But people have put all sorts of lenses on it. But now it's like that this movie deepened that by being like, well, some of it is visible, some of these mutations are visible, and some are invisible. And that creates like tension in that community and people have different responses to it. And there's this idea of like mutant and proud, whereas like Hank McCoy, who becomes Beast, wants like a cure, which is an idea that comes up in the later movies. This is a prequel, by the way. Just good. Just really good. I spent the first, 15 minutes being like, they're really drawing, a lot of allusions to the Cuban Missile Crisis. I think they could have been a bit more subtle with that. I really, I see what they're doing. And then I went, oh, no, this is set in 1962. It's literally the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I did the same thing where I was like, oh, this is really interesting because I feel like this stuff about it's really interesting that they put this in the Cold War because it meant that with this villain who has the ability to basically suck up any energy, absorb it, and then disperse it at his will, played by Kevin Bacon. That bacon's getting fried with all that atomic juices. That's really interesting to set it during the Cold War because there are a lot of missiles about, and also he's trying to manipulate the two different powers to put their missiles closer and closer together so that a nuclear war happens. I'm like, oh, that's really good writing, setting it in the right space for that instead of just setting it whenever and just making the missiles, that could literally be put in any time period after nuclear missiles were created, which films do all the time. And I was like, oh, yeah, they bring them really close. Oh, they're bringing them to Cuba. That's I like how they're sort of like elevating the Cold War. So they're making it, they're doing a bit of a divergence from the what actually happened to make it, really, really intense and, elevated and extended. Yeah. No, that's happened.
Literally what happened.
I love it when a film does it, when it's like, this is a fictional world, but this is the reason why this, happened.
Oh, yeah. It was really smoothly done.
Yeah. Unless it's trying to position itself as a justification for something. Like, it's not a conspiracy theory thing. Because these are fucking mutants.
Yeah.
But if
this is a goofy movie where a guy flies around on a kite by screaming at the ground.
Oh, fuck. I love Banshee. Banshee's powers are supersonic, like screaming.
Yeah.
And so
like breaking glass, damaging people's ears, maybe shutting down a telepath or something. Yeah. You would think maybe no.
What Magneto and Xavier do when they're forming the first classes of men is they're like, you know what we could do with Banshee? Let's give him a wingsuit and push him off a massive satellite and tell him to yell so that he can fly.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking leap from like his original power.
We were saying you could never come up with that if it wasn't for, like, the comics.
Yeah.
Like, he would just never do that.
It's a thing that he's done in the comics. I don't know if it was originally a thing. But
I don't know.
At whatever
It's
point.
Fantastic.
Could be when he started, he could fly using his screaming abilities. Mm-hmm. If that didn't exist, then you absolutely wouldn't have this. Because, God, it's such a fucking leap. To just be like, just scream at the ground. Just scream at the ground and hope you can fly.
Bigger leap than what Wolverine can achieve.
I want to kill Banshee. Motherfucker can fly.
He's so high in the air.
He's so high in the air. All I can do is flap my claws. That motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking kill him. Oh, get closer, you motherfucker.
Catch me, Wolverine!
I'll get you. Come down closer. I'm trying to jump. I can't. Come down. Come down to my level. Lower. I'm very short. I'm not Hugh Jackman. This is comic Wolverine who's very short. Very, very short and stuffy. I need you to come. Wah! I just knocked everything in my trying to big jump, but I couldn't big jump. It definitely wasn't Jett accidentally knocking the whole table over. Come down here, Banshee. I'll kill you, Bob. You'll
never catch me!
God damn it. I found the Blob's abilities. Do you want to know the Blob's abilities?
You were looking for so long for something else.
Blob's abilities are superhuman strength, stamina, endurance, durability. So far, just standard abilities. And mass personal gravity field, resilience, kinetic energy absorption, nigh impenetrable skin and fat tissue healing factor. So, there are commas between... Oh, I'm going to read out the commas. Superhuman strength, comma, stamina, comma, endurance, comma, durability, comma, and mass personal gravity field, resilience, kinetic energy absorption, nigh impenetrable skin and fat tissue healing factor.
No commas.
No commas.
Fascinating choice.
So I guess that's fun. I guess he can bring people to him with his dense mass. I don't know. There you go. Anyways, keep talking about Zmen First Class. It's First Class of Zmen.
I don't know what I was talking about, but what I want to do is I want to read out some Letterboxd reviews. Chosen more or less at random, just from like the most viewed reviews. So Letterboxd is a service where you can review movies, and it's a fun community.
Tell me.
So here's some more or less at random. The Cuba Beach scene is the most heartbreaking breakup scene in the history of cinema. This is my favourite rom-com. Charles and Eric raised millions for the LGBT community, and that's that on that. This was gay than I remember, and I remembered it being pretty freaking gay.
It's so gay.
This is peak LGBT cinema. Every review is this, and they're so right.
They're really right.
They're really right. It's the tension between those two is like bursting at the seams.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's
so good.
Spoilers for the end, I guess, where Xavier gets hit in the back with a bullet and becomes Is it paraplegic?
Yeah.
Yeah. And needs to be in a wheelchair. That scene is so heartbreaking because Magneto is sort of the one Magneto didn't instigate the bullet. The bullet was being shot at Magneto and he's deflecting them. And then one of the stray bullets hits Xavier in the back and he falls down and collapses. And at this point, Magneto's like, fuck these guys, mutant power. We need to be our own brotherhood of mutants and fuck all the humans. They all will kill us. They don't give a shit about us. Even though we help them, they will kill us as soon as they don't need us. And so it's anti-Xavier at that point. But as soon as Xavier gets hit, all of that drops away. Yeah. He runs to Xavier, coddles him in his arms, and is like, I'm so sorry. He says, I'm sorry, but then he's like, gets upset at the person shooting the bullets. Yeah. And he's like, it's your fault. You did this. Yeah. Like, immediately deflecting. Yeah. Because he sees his friend hurt, someone who he loves so much. Yeah. And then Xavier's like, motherfucker, no, she didn't do this. You did this. And he's like, you could see it in his eyes how hurt he is that he hurt his friend in this way. And that carries through to the other films that have already existed with Zmen's 2, Zmen 3, The Last Stand, where they have this friendship. Like, even if Magneto is in his plastic prison, Xavier's there playing chess with him. They are friends who care about each other. They just happen to have opposing ideologies and both have a team of soldiers who are willing to kill the other people at the drop of a coin. Yeah. But they still love each other.
Drop of a coin. Friends. Yeah. Magneto dropped the coin through that guy's brain.
He did.
And Charles was like in his brain at the time, so he felt the pain of having a metal coin thrust through his brain.
Yeah, it's awful.
Fantastic.
It's a really good film.
Everyone's screaming at full volume. It's so good.
Especially Banshee.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I haven't got you.
If I had one complaint about this film.
Yeah, there's a couple.
And I have multiple complaints.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay, my first complaint. As a point of, I don't know, films do this where it's like, if you want to show how powerful the villain is, kill the strongest hero. In this new team of men, there's a character called Darwin, who also happens to be the only dark-skinned black person in the team. Darwin's abilities, like Darwinism of, evolution, evolving to, adapting to the environment to evolve, Darwin can do that. Any environment that he is put in, he adapts so that he survives.
So you see, like, he sticks his head in a fish tank and he grows gills. Someone goes to hit him on the back and he grows scales or whatever.
Exactly. He's the first one of them to die.
Oh, dies instantly.
The villain comes, makes a big, like, energy ball thing and just chucks it in his mouth and explodes him from the inside. Yeah. That's not how Darwin is literally the character who cannot die.
I think what they were going for is that he, like his insides turn to like metal or something, because he seemed like turning to stone or something, and then like the energy blows him apart or whatever. But also the thing you said,
don't kill the character whose thing is that they can't die. Don't kill the dark-skinned black character as the first. Like the combination of those things are just too weird. Yeah. Second complaint: there are too many female X-Men, Zmen. Yeah. Who their job before they're Zmen is stripping.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's...
Like everyone.
We have Emma Frost, who is on the villain team, but still. We have
Angel.
Moira, who is not... who's a CIA agent, who, to basically spy on this government person, goes into a strip club place and takes off all of her clothes. Yeah. And then we have Angel, who is also a stripper. Yep. That's too many. One would be, okay, weird. Yeah. Why? A lot of the reason could be, I think Emma Frost is very like promiscuous in the comics, but like three, all of your main female characters basically, besides Mystique, is naked all the time.
Also never wearing clothes.
Who also in the comics often wears a white jumpsuit. It was a decision in the first Men film to be like, no, we're going to go full body blue. So it was just
bizarre.
It was gross. I didn't like that. Those are my main two complaints.
Those would have been my main two complaints also.
Do you have another complaint?
Yeah, I think, yes, I did, but I can't remember it anymore, to be honest.
Perfect. Excellent.
There was one moment where I was watching, and Shaw, who's the villain, and Magneto are having, like, their final, like, big confrontation and yelling about ideology and also, like, hey, you're a Nazi. Yeah. You know, things that we can all relate to, I'm sure. Basically, this is Fisk. And there's just a moment where, like, Shaw was describing what Magneto believes later on, and I was like, oh, that's a bit inconsistent. It's going to be quite hard to turn that around in future movies. And then 2 minutes later, Magneto says, like, no, you're completely right, but I hate you because you killed my mom, murders him, and then adopts that ideology, which is really what he's always had about, like, protecting mutants at all costs and the atrocities that humanity can commit. And how, and I was like, that makes sense! And also, like, because he grew up... because that safety was ripped away and that identity was taken away, and then like his mum was killed in front of him, and he was like persecuted by the Nazis and everything else that happened. Like, violence and hate is the only language that he's learned, so it makes sense that his only like resolution is about like killing this guy, and not about like what Charles is saying, which is like the point between rage and serenity and like love and hope and optimism. Like Magneto, the only language that he has is like this fierce protectionism and the revenge of like that he's doing in Argentina and whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a good movie that they thought about. I love it when they think about a movie.
It's
you
brilliant
know?
when they think about a movie.
God, why can't they do that more often?
Get ready for X-Men Days of Future Past, the next one, which this director was meant to direct the next one.
Oh yeah, this is good.
And
good stuff.
Then what happened was Bryan Singer got first pass at it. So this director who directed this, who also directed the Kingsman films, and yeah, I don't know what else. They did this first prequel one, so they were set up to do the next prequel one.
This one was credited as story by Bryan Singer, and then the writers were Matthew Vaughn and a few others.
Sure.
So like
Matthew Vaughn's the director of this one.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't like they hadn't collaborated or worked together at all, which makes this worse, really arguably.
Weird. So they'd written X-Men Days of Future Past, and then Fox said, "Cool, thanks for the script. We're going to give this to Bryan Singer. If Bryan Singer wants to do it, Bryan Singer also awful person. If Bryan Singer
did direct the first two X-Men,
yes. Then he gets it. If he doesn't want it, then you have it." And he's like, "I directed the last one, and this is the one because this again was after X-Men 3: The Last Stand and X-Men Origins of Wolverine.
It could have all fallen apart."
Yeah, and he brought it back, and the fact that they're like, cool, we're going to go with the other guy though, ridiculous. Also, Matthew Vaughn was set up to direct X-Men 3.
This is wild.
And what happened was they were getting ready. He got the scripts, and he said there are a couple of versions of the scripts, and there was one in particular where it's like, "Hey, what's this script? This is interesting."
And the studio like, "Don't worry about that script."
It's like, no. But what's this script?
No, don't worry about that script.
It's
not the shooting script.
I'm the director.
Yeah.
I'm going to worry about that script. I'm just going to flip through the script here, Matthew
And they
Vaughn.
said...
And have a look. This is really interesting. At the start, it has like Storm in Africa, basically saving a bunch of people who are going through a drought, bringing water. It seems very, interesting. That's cool. That's awesome. Storm's a character that we should bring out a bit more. Fantastic. Cool. So we're going with this script. Are we? This?
Oh no, that's the Halle Berry script.
What do you mean the Halle Berry script?
The one that we gave Halle Berry to make sure that she came on for the movie. That's not the shooting script.
So you've just given this to Halle Berry to make sure that she signs a contract to get on this movie?
Yeah. This is commonplace, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this film anymore. This is not okay, and I'm not going to do this.
Oh, that's
I hope someone comes and sleeps with you and changes your mind to use this script. I think that's the only way that this would happen.
Rat Ratner in to direct it, I guess.
Oh, God, we'll get Brett the Rat Ratner.
You can come back for a better movie.
I'll come back for a better movie where I'll have three women who are strippers.
You only get one movie.
Okay, fine.
Choose one and only one. We know there's three
class.
that you wanted to direct. You'll do first class. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do first class. Who should watch this film? Who would you recommend it to?
Oh, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
People who've never watched the Men.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
Where do you start?
Because this is my favorite one. I think this is the best one so far.
Yeah. Do you reckon you could jump into this one without watching the other ones?
You could. You could. Yes. No. Yeah. You know what? If you've never watched a Men film, watch First Class.
Okay.
See what you think.
And then you don't know what.
Then watch Men.
Yeah.
Originals Men.
And then maybe watch the 2. Because the thing is, the next one, Days of Future Past, follows on from Men 3, The Last Stand, and First Class. Did I say First Class twice?
No, you said the right thing.
Cool. Because it's a convergence of the timelines with Days of Future Past. So if you want to continue, and Days of Future Past is fantastic, probably at least watch the first
context.
Yeah. Excellent.
Good stuff.
Great finish the movie? Start the movie and finish the movie?
Start the movie and finish the movie.
You give a tick off for finishing it?
I will.
Excellent.
So good. Just thinking about things that happen and scenes and actors, and it's just good.
I really can't wait for you to watch the next one.
Me too.
Because the next one, once again, is my favorite one. Do you want me to tell you about my Finished It now?
I would love for you to tell me about your Finished It.
So I have an interesting Finished It because it's technically something that we've talked about before, but I haven't finished it.
Interesting. What have you finished?
And I've definitely done this before where I've just put it in a following up.
Sure.
I could have put this in a following up, but I liked it so much that I want to talk about it here.
Wow.
In following up. Sorry, finished it. And what I finished is the movie Talk to Me.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
Talk to me too. Talk to me. We're doing another...
Why would
Cool.
you not immediately think to put the 2 in the middle of the
I don't know.
2? We're doing a Madagascar return back to Africa.
Talk to me. Return to the living room where there's a spooky
Days
hand.
to future past. Back to the future. We're going in a living room and there's going to be a spooky hand. Talk to Me was great.
Cool. Favorite bit?
Oh, God. Okay, first of all, I'd like to say it's horrifying. It's one of the... It is
A lot of people
horror film.
said not scary.
I thought it was fucking terrifying. I went and saw it with Esther. We were both shitting our pants the entire time. Oh, God. Okay, there's a lot of things I like about this film.
Wait.
What?
How well behaved was your cinema on a scale of regular human beings to demonic pair of blokes who will talk through the whole movie?
Is this on a scale from 1 to 10?
No, it's on a scale of the thing I just described to the other thing I just described.
Would
you like me to repeat them?
A little
goodness.
further to demonic than the normal human beings,
Yeah.
but only by a little bit.
So they've just got like a slight red tinge or like a little bit of pointed ears or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
But they're mostly normal.
Yeah,
Okay,
mostly,
that's not bad.
mostly.
You can now continue with
We
the
had
thing.
like a bunch. It was a small cinema. There weren't a whole lot of people there. We had a set of like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 teenagers, a couple of rows in front, who were talking a little bit, but weren't talking through the whole thing. It was actually really funny because they were talking through the commercials and the trailers and stuff, which I'm fine with. I don't mind that. But the people behind us were like, if these fucking kids
And you heard them
start
saying
talking
that.
through this film, I'm gonna say something. I will say something. And the
That's
person's
so
like, yeah,
good.
no, say something.
That's
And I'm
so
like, yeah, I
good.
will say something.
Oh, cinema gossip.
Cinema
Oh,
gossip.
I love this.
And there were like
And then what
max
happened?
18 people in this cinema as well.
Ooh.
No, they didn't.
So
They didn't
they
really
didn't
talk
say
through it.
anything. Okay, good.
Yeah, but oh God, it was so good from the jump. It was good. So
I mean, the first scene's arguably the best. Like, wow.
I think that this is the most like Jordan Peele horror film that hasn't been done by Jordan Peele.
That's what I said. I said I don't like horror, but I like Jordan Peele's movies and this.
And I think it's just the way that it's written and the way the story connects.
You mean
to
like
itself.
good and engaging characters and themes rather than just jump scares?
Yes, yeah. And also like visual motifs I think are really interesting because they add an extra bit of depth which horror films don't often have. Like a lot of horror films can be just gross factor, like body horror or just jump scares. But this, because it has those motifs, it almost makes it creepier because there's an underlying uneasiness of things coming up again.
I actually forgot how like horrifying this movie. Like when you said like it was scary, I was thinking about all the scenes where they talk to the hand, but I forgot about all the like possession stuff, which is ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I'd like to talk spoilers if that's
Yeah,
okay.
let's do it.
Because we already
We've
talked
both
about
seen
Talk to
it.
Me.
You've had plenty of time,
Yeah,
folks.
but go see it or go listen to our earlier episode
Yeah.
where Reuben talks about it.
If you don't want spoilers, jump ahead to the next section.
Yeah. First scene, that really reminded me of Jordan Peele. Because,
Also, one take, one shot, not one take necessarily.
Well, one shot.
Yeah.
Because it did the classic cold open.
Set up the item, and these are not the
We
characters.
don't
actually.
even see the item. We don't even see the hand. What we see is someone walking through a party. They get to, they're trying to find their brother. They find their brother at the end.
Such good acting. I was so invested from like 5 seconds in. I was like, oh my god, where is this kid?
Yeah.
You have to make sure they're okay.
And he's not doing well. And then all of a sudden, while starting to leave, everyone's still filming him. And it's like, why? Everyone's
Put your
immediately
phones
filming.
away.
What's going on with that? And then he brings out, it's either scissors or a knife. He stabs his brother, kills him, and then immediately stabs himself.
Oh, it's terrifying.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then as the film progresses and you learn more and more about what the hand does, you are able to piece together what's happening in the original scene, and that also helps with your knowledge of understanding what's happening at
like the
point that you're
stakes.
at. Yes, and the stakes, absolutely. So like Jordan Peele's films, like if we look at Get Out, the first scene has like his Seinfeld in it. He's just like left his car or something. He's walking through this neighborhood. He's chatting on the phone with someone. and then a car like goes by maybe like once or twice and then parks, and he's like, oh, what the fuck's up with that? Can't see anyone. And then he gets kidnapped. And then halfway through the film, we see Lakeith Stanfield in this very white Southern get-up, talking very differently to what he talked like at the start of the film. We're like, oh, something's changed with him. They've done something with this man. And that informs you. So that does the same thing, which is really, really good. Also, there's people being killed with scissors, which seems like it could be an allusion to us. Yeah. There's quite a few things. It was phenomenal. All the acting was incredible. Yeah. The person who plays Mia, the first time that she talks to the hand, where, you know, we've seen this character for a bit, she's talking in the way that she talks, and then when the transition to being possessed by this spirit, and is talking in such this different way, it's so creepy, and it made the scene afterwards when Mia was just talking normally once again, it felt really like disconcerting. It felt like there was something wrong. Like I couldn't trust it. Yeah. Because it was such a jarring difference. I felt like it could come out at any point, and that was terrifying. Oh God, it was so good. Yeah, all the acting was amazing. We got to enjoy a bit of the fun as well. Yes. We had that
montage.
Yeah. Really, really fun. Which leads into the most grotesque and terrifying possession with the kid, Tyler? I don't know. I can't remember what his name is. But God, I had to look away when he started like trying to claw his eye out, and then every time he like bashes his head against it.
Oh, in the hospital.
It's absolutely awful. Yeah. But one of the things that got me was trying to figure out the rules of the hand and piecing together all of the bits of information that we were given. Because also we're given information as the characters are in a way that isn't like, just exposition, but instead, hey, here are the rules that we think, these kids have just been told from someone who's told from someone how this hand works. So you already don't fully trust it. You might be like, there's some missing pieces.
And they're like asking people questions and like following people at bus stops to be like, are you the one who gave this guy the hand who gave it to this guy?
Yeah, they find out from him that the spirits get weaker the longer that they're in you. But like the candle being blown out, I was so obsessed with that. Every time they did it, I was making sure that the candle was blown out. The candle was not blown out after that kid, the kid used it. And I was like, that means the spirit's still inside him. And also I think when Mia did it herself on her own, I don't know if it isn't shown that the candle's been blown out. So yeah, using all, like it doesn't have to have real world rules. Yeah. Like the having rules to a scary thing works really well because you know what is going on. Even if you don't know all of the rules, it's not like anything can happen.
Take note to Midsummer.
I haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I thought all the stuff with Mia was really difficult to watch because she is your point of view character. And
how about the bit where she accidentally stabs her dad?
Oh,
the like double perspective switch. That was whoa.
That was a lot. And
you see him like outside the room being like Mia, but then she sees him in the room. Oh wow.
She switches from being the character that you're rooting for to the character that you want to see fail because she gets completely manipulated by these spirits to the point where she will, just you want her to not do that, to not be manipulated by it, but
you totally get where she's coming from.
So for her to become the villain and the person that you want to see fail, was really hard for me to watch as well. Yeah. Not only like movie. Not only the horror bits were hard to watch, but just watching the characters
and the conversation, like some of the slight tangent that I'll come back around in, but Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin talk about like emotional action scenes where they you use the same like techniques or the same writing techniques to write it and to shoot it, but there's no physical fight happening. Right. It's a verbal contest. Yeah. And so in the same way that you're saying, like, not only the horror bits were hard to watch, but like some of the things that Mia is like saying to the people that she loves and like the family that have kind of done so much to take her in. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, they had physical impact. They're like an emotional action scene.
Even when it switches from Mia being, upset and regretful that this kid that she's basically her brother is now in hospital, and the mother of him is just wailing on her, like verbally being like, fuck off, you did this is your fault. You did weed once, you probably, I know it wasn't my daughter. You brought drugs here, this is your fault. And that's awful, and you feel so bad for Mia. But the next time Mia's at the hospital, Mia's there to kill the kid.
Yeah.
And you see the mother saying, I'm so sorry. They did the drug test. I was so emotional. I feel so bad. And you're like, no, now's not the time to be accepting of her. Fucking tell her to leave.
So good. How good is Miranda Otto, the mum?
Oh, incredible.
So good.
Incredible. They're all amazing. Yeah. Also, all being unknown actors.
Yes.
Well, unknown to me at least.
Yeah, all the kids.
Mm-hmm. Also, once again, fantastic to see Australia represented. Yeah. I was like, psh, I've had my printer not work before.
Yeah. I've talked to a possessed hand before.
Yeah. I've had a spirit convince me to bash my head against the wall.
We've had someone be like, just come to the party, yo. Don't be like that, bro.
Yeah.
How good's that kid?
Yeah.
Like the one who introduces the hand to like their friendship group.
Really,
just
really
like,
good.
Not a minor character, not a major character, just one of the gang, but like drawn in such specificity. I was like, I know that person. Yeah. I literally know that person.
Same with the friend of theirs, who is a bit of a dick. And like is very anti-Mia. Is like, fuck this kid.
That's what I mean.
Oh, that's who you mean. Oh yeah. Well, both of them. They're that pair.
Oh yes, yeah.
They're both phenomenal, and they do have specific personalities, which play into the scenes, even if they don't have a full arc.
Yeah.
They still have personalities because it creates an interesting dynamic.
Yes.
Immediately also they're like, leave the hand with Mia. This is Mia's responsibility now. That was good. It took me, my jaw was on the floor for like 50 minutes after the film, and I was chatting with Esther, and we were trying to like figure out what happened, because like the rules of the possession. Have you figured it out? Have you got it like sorted? Like,
I didn't have like lingering questions, but maybe that was just because I was like, I got enough.
Okay.
Was there a whole like step I'm missing? I know they had like a fairly extensive like show Bible for the movie. Like they know what the rules are.
Yeah, which you can tell. Which
yes,
is
because
really
you have
good.
to know it in detail to be able to create that kind of vagueness.
Yeah.
It's like a well, I guess it's like a mystery. Like you got to know exactly what's going on in order to leave the breadcrumbs and the red herrings.
Yeah, instead of what often horror films do, is like, oh, we have this evil thing, it's going to do whatever we want it to do. No, there are certain restrictions on it, which is great. So what I've figured out is that the spirits aren't any dead person. So the mum is not the mum, because we hear that the spirits can take the shape of anyone that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So the mum is not the mum and is manipulating Mia to kill the kid, because what they want to do is when somebody has spirits inside of them, if they die, then the spirits get them. Yeah, essentially, they become one of theirs. So that's why Mia is so insistent on killing the kid.
Yeah.
But also, sorry, it's really, I'm going to just like muddle my way through this, but I hope it makes sense. Also, so the reason why Mia sees the reason why the kid sees Mia's mum is because the spirit goes inside Mia first, and then, and it was a conversation from Mia and the other guy friend, who she sucks the toes of.
Forgot about that.
But when they're in the car, they're like, do they just know everything or what's going on? And he's like, I think maybe that they understand only what we understand. So they basically scrape our memories and know everything that we know, which is the reason why the kid sees Mia's mum, because the spirits have already been inside Mia's brain. And it's also the reason why Mia's mum is insistent that she did not kill herself, because Mia does not know that her mum killed herself at that point.
Huh.
Yes. And then later on, the spirit uses that to sort of manipulate and convince, no, Mia, I didn't kill myself. Don't trust your dad.
Yeah, I was just assuming that was, just like lying or,
no,
just like saying what the person what Mia wanted to hear.
Didn't know that yet. Didn't know that fact about Mia's mum.
Yeah.
Yep. So, also, at the end of the film, we have Mia in this sunken place sort of thing where she walks towards this light after she's not killed the kid but killed herself, threw herself in front of the car. Oh, that, which is also a great motif with the kangaroo and all
that.
That
reminded me of the deer in Get Out.
Yes, yeah. And also there's that whole through line of Mia not being able to... Mia couldn't kill the kangaroo at the start of the film.
Yeah.
Because she's like,
it was like injured on the road and she couldn't bring herself to... Yeah.
Yeah, which is that whole thing with the kid where these spirits are like, you need to kill the kid because he is suffering.
Yeah. And
this will free him from the suffering of these spirits. There are bad spirits and there are good spirits. They're all bad spirits. But like, kill the kid so then he won't have this suffering anymore. But she ends up killing herself. And then she goes in the sunken place, follows a light, and then someone's there with a hand.
Yeah.
And then she holds their hand, so clearly she's the spirit.
Yeah.
One of the spirits inside the talk to me hand.
Yeah.
So the reason for that is she died with spirits still in her. So that isn't everyone's death. Esther and I were like, that's like a purgatory. That's what happens after death. Anybody who's died can appear from the hand. No, it's only people who have died with the spirit of the hand in them where they...
But Mia's mum didn't.
No, because the spirits can take the shape of anyone as long as they know about them. So that's why Mia's trapped in there. That's also why they were trying to get Mia to kill him.
That's why Mia's mum doesn't rock up the first time she uses the hand.
Exactly.
That's good.
Also, we have a bit with the spirit. I think Mia's mum at one point looks a bit drowned, where that's a bit of a hint that because the first person that Mia sees is this drowned guy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like it is a bit of an illusion. So, yeah, the reason that isn't, we were like, God, is that what happens after death? No, that's just because she died with spirits inside her. The spirits were also trying to get her to kill the kid because the spirits really like the kid. The first time that Mia gets a spirit inside her, she's like talking to the boy and it's like, oh, we really like you. We want you. So that's why the spirits are so incessant that Mia kills the kid while he's still got spirits inside him, because the spirits die out over time. As that guy on the bus said, they get weak. So the longer that he spends recovering, the less spirits are going to be inside him. And yeah, so the longer basically there's a short period of time in which Mia can kill him and they get him. Yeah. Does this make sense?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I hadn't cottoned onto there. That's cool.
Yeah, so it was I'm really glad it like wrapped together really neatly, and I understand like the lore of the hand, which is really cool. And really, really interesting mechanics that, I was trying to figure out throughout the whole thing. And again, didn't figure out until after it. So it'd be kind of interesting to watch it again and see how that, show rears its head throughout the movie, and also if there's anything else that I didn't cotton on to. Yeah. One last thing I want to say about Talk to Me. One little tidbit that I adored while I was watching is that one thing that Mia knows about her mum's death is that her mum was clawing at the door after taking these sleeping pills or whatever as she was dying, and that there was paint from the door under her fingernails. Really grotesque imagery. Yeah. We see that with the dead mum as well. Like, she still has the paint under her fingernails. But multiple times during the movie, we see Mia picking at the finger... What the fuck's it called?
The
nail polish.
Yes.
Nail polish on her hands and then getting it redone. Because Mia's trying to... Like many people who are going through an awful, awful time like that, grief, tragedy, they're trying to basically stay above water, keep going. So the act of keeping her nails painted is literally keeping the paint above her nails. Unlike her mum, who couldn't deal with, in the end, could not continue and had the paint under her nails. She's trying to tread water and keep the paint above the nails. And I thought that was just a really, really cool metaphor.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Talk to Me. That's the spoiler talk of
really
Talk to
good.
Me.
I think
Talk to Me.
Enjoyed... I liked it.
Yeah.
But I think I was like, I might watch that again at some point. I might not. Now I'm like, I'm going to see that movie again.
Yeah. It's not really showing in cinema. It was hard for us to get a showing. We had to go to South Yarra to see one in the evening. Yeah. But
I would.
It's also on Apple TV now.
So on streaming.
Really good. I would recommend anyone who's interested in horror films, watch it. You might have to close your eyes for a bit, like I did. But it's really, really good. Try and remember the rules to it or figure out the rules to it so you don't go through an existential crisis when you finish the film. Yeah, I recommend starting it and finishing it. Like, absolutely finish it. For sure. Yeah. That was my Finished It. We're done with Finished It.
Nice.
Now we're on to the section called Up and Up.
Up and up.
Every time I'm bringing it up, I'm talking about up and up. Not the theme song.
What are you up and upping this week?
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you've been going first for all the things.
I have.
I just talked for ages.
You
said
it's
talk
a
to
case
me
of
and
like,
I did. And you said let me in, and then I fucked with your brain for a minute. I was like, oh, there's some weird stuff with executives in here.
Yeah, watch out.
Also,
Might be worse for you than to come into my brain. That is worse for me.
to come into my brain?
No, like you.
Mine's just full of like.
No, I mean like if you possess me, I'll be like, hey, yeah, good luck.
Great.
Great.
Tell me what you've got coming up.
My coming up is stage combat.
Stage combat.
Stage combat.
What are you
I'm
combating?
going to do some stage combat classes, other people with my fist, but actually.
Is this not just like punching curtains and
Stage combat, yeah.
Kicking on,
just jumping up and down
banisters?
repeatedly, yeah.
Yeah.
Stage combat is like what's used in plays and films to fake fights.
Yeah.
So it similar to stunts, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess it's a subgenre of stunts. Often with swords, often medieval vibes, but also like unarmed and like any fights really.
That's so exciting.
I'm gonna learn stage combat.
Oh my god! When are you doing that?
I'm doing some drop-in classes on Thursdays starting next week.
That's so exciting.
I'm so excited. Something I've like had vaguely on my radar for a little while, and I've been like, oh yeah, like I would want to do that. And then this year I had the pleasure to dance with someone called Jett, who comes from an acting background and does stage combat. And so every week I've been hearing how amazing it is, and so then I was like, I gotta find a way to do this.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's what they said to me last night. They're like, every time you say Jett, I get confused.
Good. I don't want to ever meet this person. I've never met another person named Jett.
That's what they said. You guys should hang out.
I don't want to meet.
You guys should
meet another
both
person.
Both with a double T as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about for stage combat? Like, is there a specific combat that you're interested in?
Oh, I can't wait to pick up a sword. Also, just like really ready to be a beginner at something. Like, yeah. Oh, just excited.
That sounds cool.
Just excited.
When I started Heather's, I think it was stage combat. There's a scene in Beautiful where I get thrown to the ground by a person in the cast called Bailey. Bailey said, "Hey, have you ever done stage combat?"
Bailey,
before?
whose arm you landed on.
Yes.
Bailey
said, "Have you ever done stage combat before?" And I was like, "No, this is my first show." And he's like, "Okay, cool. I've done stage combat before. I'll walk you through this." And then just proceeded to throw me to the ground. I just get chucked to the ground. He's like, yeah, make sure you like slide or whatever.
Yeah.
He was actually very helpful, but he did immediately throw me to the ground, so that's fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. That's great. Maybe you can come home and then teach me how to
Yeah. I'll just pick up a knife off the knife rack. Be like, you ready? You've
ready.
done stage combat before, right? Bailey threw you to the ground that one time. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I'll have an army of Tonka trucks ready.
Just lined up.
Yeah.
Facing the doorway. Joke's on you, there's so much stuff on the floor. We haven't vacuumed in weeks. It's like mounds of stuff. Like the Tonka trucks won't be able to. They'll have to like stop, slow down, stop, and start like lift. You have to use the Tonka trucks to actually lift stuff up.
They are Tonka trucks, so that's completely what they're capable for. If I was using Hot Wheels or something like that, wouldn't work.
They're Tonka trucks.
They're Tonka trucks.
I was like, they're little cars or whatever, but no.
I am the Tilly Tonka.
They're Tilly Tonka trucks.
They're Tilly Tonka trucks. Brilliant.
I'm in so much trouble.
Have you got anything that you're following? Also, the reason why our floor is so dirty is because our vacuum cleaner has been...
Oh yeah, we didn't just choose to not vacuum.
God, it's been awful.
Oh, it's been
we got
so
it back
bad.
now, so we need to start vacuuming.
And by got it back, we mean we got a new one.
That's my coming up. I'm gonna start vacuuming. Tell me what your following up is.
I do have a couple of following up. There's one that you might have as well, so I'll leave it. Ahsoka, I finished it.
Oh, great.
I think that you should watch it.
Okay. Cool. I might
That's
do that.
all.
Brilliant.
I think there's some interesting stuff in there. The reason I am so tired is because I am still playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And the last couple of nights, I've been up till like 1 a.m. playing Red Dead.
I know. I went to sleep at one point. I was like, Reuben, I'm going to bed. And you're like, oh, okay.
Fine.
And it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then I have my door open so Goose can come in and out as she pleases. I could just hear.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I fell asleep. But while I was falling asleep, I could just hear
Just
like
gunshots and horrible screaming. Yeah.
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 Great.
It's also like these have been like 2 days off. Or almost, mostly not doing anything except like podcasting and some social things. And I was like, oh, great chance to catch up on some sleep that I've missed because we had like early work mornings and we had packs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just have failed at that. I just haven't done good sleeping.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, that's fine.
Anyway, it's a
You've
good
been
game.
enjoying your time.
It's a good
I
game.
assume.
I have.
Great.
I have.
I can't wait to hear about it when you've finished it.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, it's up to you. You
I
choose when you
probably
finish it.
will.
Yeah.
I probably will.
Anything else that's on your finished it list?
On my following up? No.
Sorry, follow up.
Well, there is one more thing, but I'm hoping that you're going to talk about Oppenheimer.
Well, we'll see.
Anyway, what's coming up for you?
I'll tell you what's coming up for me. Our Flag Means Death Season 2.
Yeah.
That's out. I want to watch it. I think it's out.
Let's put it on. We have so many things to watch that we've done like one episode of.
I know. I'm also currently watching Our Flag Means Death Season 1 with Esther. And by that,
cool.
I mean I've watched the first episode with her. So we'll see. I'd like to like rewatch it. And then, go into Our Flag Means Death Season 2. So we could all watch that together if you'd like.
Cool.
But
let's do it.
Yeah. Season 1 is fantastic. Love that show. Love it so much. Following up is we went and saw Oppenheimer. Now, I have some things to say.
Oh boy.
I won't take too long.
Uh-oh.
But I will say, first of all, yeah, look, I'm sorry for being so harsh on it. I'm sorry for being so harsh on it.
I've been waiting all week after like coming out to bat for the movie, then being like, you should come, and then like tickets aren't cheap, and it's a chunk of, like it was a whole evening, and I was like, we walked out of this room and you were like, I'm going to save my thoughts, and I went, oh no!
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of thoughts while watching it, and now I've forgotten a lot of those thoughts by now. But
I like it when they think about a movie. That's the theme of the day. 3 movies that people actually thought about.
Think about things before you do them. That's what they're doing with Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
God, whoever's influencing those executives, I'm so proud of them. People are thinking about movies again, you know? Christopher Nolan, Tenet, not really thought about.
Not really thought through.
But whoever's met Christopher Nolan between Tenet and Oppenheimer.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't
That wasn't me.
Reuben, I see that signed poster.
What? Where? You don't see shit.
Just the face of Christopher Nolan.
Oh boy.
Saying, love you forever.
Yeah, I was gonna
Please
say,
come back soon.
The handwritten message kind of,
Yeah.
kind of does me away, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
I like films that go at a clip, that go quickly.
Like Uncut Gems vibe?
Like Uncut Gems vibe, that are stressful. I do think, God, there were so many characters in that film and so many big names where they didn't have to be big names. I feel like that was kind of...
Like almost distracting?
Yeah, a bit distracting. Yeah. Also, like, it made me... It felt like a cheating way of getting me to care about a character that I don't care about, because it's like, oh...
That's a fantastic actor who's been in lots of other things that I like.
It's that kid. It's that guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He's cool. Yeah. He has like one line. He's in like 3 scenes.
It's definitely a case of like, if you weren't adapting real historical events and also a book, they just wouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a case for them not being in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With that being said, it was still very hard to keep track of characters.
Oh, yeah.
Like names, they kept saying this one name. I'm like, I don't freaking know who that is. I don't know what's going on.
There's also like 2 or 3 presidents mentioned by name, and you don't see any of them until right at the end. So it's like, I was glad I had the knowledge I did watching it the first time.
Yeah.
And the second time I was like, oh, I can enjoy the movie now because it's like less of a puzzle that I'm like actively figuring out.
Yeah. I think probably the most enjoyable bit of it for me was like the end with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, where they're doing the whole trial thing and all of that unfolding. I feel like that had less
Double
connection
trials.
to the first 2/3 of the film, because unlike, oh my god, Goose is attacking the computer.
Pushing the desktop computer.
Goose.
They're trees, Goose. There's trees on the screen set. And the water bottle's gone.
Oh my god. Jesus. Might as well be nuclear fallout in here with all the destruction that's happening. It was... What was I saying?
Less connection to the first.
Less connection. Like, it felt like the first half should have been set up for the final bit, and it didn't. It felt like the backstory instead of a setup and payoff, because a lot of the setup and payoff was all within that last 2/3. The last third, the first 2/3 was like just context. I get like it was a whole narrative in of itself.
Yeah.
Cool, new narrative structure. Go you, Christopher Nolan, I guess.
There's definitely 2 movies happening here.
Yeah.
But unlike the 3, I think they're both good movies.
Yes. I think, like, again, that last third is really engaging, and because it has that tension between Oppenheimer and
the 2 trials.
Yeah, that's really cool and satisfying to watch play out. Oh my god, Chris is just like making a beeline for the computer. I'm just gonna try and unlock the Reuben, can you stall for time?
I can be stolen for time. A stolen for time. A stolen for time.
I turned the keyboard off. I
Already?
just typed in.
I was going to say that was quick.
Yeah,
I better keep stolen for time. Stolen for time. Stolen for time.
Okay, brilliant. Excellent. Good job. Cool. Yeah, so I think, I don't know. It was good. It was an enjoyable film. All the critiques that I had. A lot of the critiques that I had before watching the film still apply.
Yep.
I do think, like, if you're choosing to do a film about this period of time and the ramifications of creating an atomic bomb, like, just you have made a decision to focus on the main white men that have created it and not the effect that it actually has. You have the effect of the effect. Like, you've skipped over a step. You're like, okay, we want to have the creation of it, and then we want to have the effect that the destruction of it has on the person who created it. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a valid criticism. Yeah. I think I've kind of made peace with that one, but respect that opinion.
No,
sure.
I think like it works narratively, but also the creators of the film and the book that it was based on made a decision to do that, and that's a decision that's worth critiquing. Yeah. Also, like the Florence Pugh stuff, like I really like Florence Pugh in this film. Yes. It was really, really good.
Especially the first scene when she gets to have an actual conversation.
Yeah. I don't think that the relationships that Oppenheimer has with women is impactful enough to justify their representation in there. I think it should be more or less. But if you have it less, then you don't have any women in the film, and that's besides that one scientist.
I was wrong. She didn't have one line. She had, I think it was like 3.
Okay, great, excellent. So the standard amount of lines. But yeah, to be fair, a lot of the other characters that aren't Oppenheimer have the same amount of screen time and impact as the women do. So
it was fascinating. I knew that Klaus Fuchs was a spy for like the Brits and the Soviets. Yeah. But the movie doesn't tell you that till right at the end. So every time he was on screen, I was like, it's him! It's that one. I know this guy. So that was a fun little...
That's a fun little thing. Yeah, look, also, one thing I will say is the IMAX of it all was really impactful. Yes. The screen height going all the way to the ceiling. Also, we did see it on film, and that affected my enjoyment dramatically.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way, like the flicker and I don't know, it just felt really naturalistic, which got me engaged a lot more. There is something about...
The flickering when it's white drives me insane, but there is... Maybe something to it, yeah.
I don't know, just the slight vibration of everything. I really enjoyed, actually. Yeah, cool. I want to see more films on film. Cool. Look, it's not my favorite film. It's probably not my favorite Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah. What would be?
Inception?
Yeah.
Love Inception. Really, really good. Or like The Dark Knight, I've seen a billion times. But quite possibly Inception. So, yeah, I don't know. Cool. Look... It was, I enjoyed it, but also reserved my critiques as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming out of it. I'm glad that I'm not coming out of it being like, this was stupid and this was stupid and this was stupid.
I definitely found the things that had given me slight hesitation the first time were like more annoying. You know, often
Yeah.
your opinions on a movie solidify. Sometimes they shift, but often it's like, oh yeah, no, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like. I definitely had that.
Yeah. I do also, like, one of my critiques when we were first talking about it was, yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan film, of course it's going to be good, blah, blah, blah. That can also be applied to my praise here. It's like, yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be,
But
like,
yeah.
good and well made. But I do think that it...
Christopher Nolan's a bit like Wes Anderson for me. It's like, I really, really want to love this, but there are just like these roadblocks where I'm like, I don't believe that these people are real often. Yeah, or something.
It doesn't...
This one's my favorite.
Probably your favorite out of the Christopher Nolan ones. Yeah. I do think that the film doesn't... I don't know, Christopher Nolan films, they don't always feel stylistically distinct.
Yeah.
Like, they do have a distinct style, but it's like dulled. It's like, you
Yeah.
think of a movie, this is a movie.
Yeah,
This is
it's
a
very
movie
efficient
style.
often.
Yeah. It's like...
Although, I will... again, it's not like... Go on, you finish your
I was
thought.
going to say, like, if you're watching a TV show or a movie and a movie's happening on screen, and if it's like a big
Christopher
dramatic
Nolan
kind of
movie.
action
Yeah.
movie, it would be what Christopher Nolan does.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Makes fake movies.
Mm.
Yes, it's not necessarily a stylistic strength. Maybe it's just like he's a really good technician. But things like the Trinity test and some of those trial scenes, but especially the Trinity test, like I fully wasn't breathing this time around. It had an even bigger effect on me the second time, which maybe, I don't know, just like the silence and all you can hear is the breath and the people in the cinema with you and like,
I will say...
So not stylistically strong necessarily, but very like just effective.
In the same way that James Cameron has the privilege to do fantastical, amazing things, the fact that Christopher Nolan was able to get it shot on IMAX and filmed on, like, shot on IMAX film and displayed in IMAX theaters on film, was able to have the cast that he did, was able to utilize this book and condense it into a film while also being able to present a film at 3 hours long.
Yeah.
All of these things, yes, they have a great effect.
Yes.
But that's also because he has the liberty to be able to, liberty and
100%.
privilege to be able to do that.
100%. That's why, like, you also go and see Talk to Me in the same, like, week or couple of weeks or whatever. Like,
which is very
do
funny
both.
that, like, people with the most money and the most privilege and the most esteem can do what they want, and also people with no money and no privilege and no esteem
as good
can do what they want. It's that middle ground where it's real
bizarre,
restrictive.
isn't it?
So I think I have more of an affinity towards the smaller side of things than the larger side of things. Mainly based on the I don't know, the privilege, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the economics of it.
Yeah.
I have a preference for good things.
Excellent. I'm glad. That's why you
As the
watched
person who saw
Origins
Everything Everywhere All at
Wolverine.
Once like 5 times in cinemas. I like good things, whatever budget they come from.
Absolutely. But that's what I finished.
Yeah.
Do you feel satisfied with that Oppenheimer review?
I'm mostly relieved. I'm like, thank goodness that I'm not the villain of this podcast now because I like him.
Not yet.
Well, yeah.
I'm the villain. I am both
You made me play all the
Tilly
Jack
Tonka
games,
and
so you...
the Voldemort and...
You're all the villains. You're also someone who likes Jack too, so...
Yeah, other people like Jack too. You were just telling me the other day that you opened up the Google app on your phone and the first,
people
the first
like everything on the
article
internet.
that was recommended to you was, Jack 2's a great
There are all
game, you
sorts
should
of
play
horrible
it.
people on the internet.
You just calling that person a horrible person? Wow.
They had a
Wow.
fond childhood memory of Jack 2.
Don't we all?
No, that's the
Okay.
point. That's the issue.
Reuben,
You're blinded.
now, do we... I know that you've got to rush off.
I do got to rush off.
Do we have time for mails?
No, very
Shit.
much not.
But we've got mails?
We've got mails.
Because last episode, you promised mails in the next episode.
And now I'm teasing them again.
God.
Next week, you've got mail. Actually, it's guests next week, so... Look, we're just going to say
Hopefully
next
we'll
week
have guests.
mail.
I hope we have guests.
You hope
We'll
we
see.
have guests?
We might not have guests.
Oh,
We'll
I'm
see
sorry.
if we
I
have
just
guests.
teased a thing that might not be happening.
Well, you've also teased a thing that might not be happening twice in a row. So,
No, mail's happening. That's why I'm teasing it.
mail night.
Mail always happens when I say it. Well, next week, mail.
Next week, mail?
Next week, mail.
We're just going to never have mail. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Thank you, Hetty Moysey, for our lovely podcast art. Follow us on Instagram at Stinished It. Email in for mail that we always do every episode, stinishedit@gmail.com, or write in the Q&A box on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify.
We had a poll last week. Your favourite character from our big character episode.
And we don't get to know the results of that this
We
week.
don't get to know this. Well,
It's
no.
fucked up.
To be honest, I don't even know yet. Haven't got that mail.
This is your job.
So you got approximately 1 week, because in 1 week we're doing mail, like I said.
Okay. And also, rate us 5 stars.
Yes.
If you're listening,
Lots of people have.
give
Thank
us a
you.
rating.
We appreciate it.
And then more people can listen to our silly, silly voices talking about silly, silly things. Like Timmy Tonka. And his Tonka trucks. I will kill you, Timmy Tonka. The boy who lived come to drive his trucks into your ankles. And also go in a glass elevator.